This might just be the stupidest thing I have ever done. I am going to get every single unread book off of this bookshelf and out of my bedroom, and we're gonna go through my entire physical TBR. I am genuinely scared to know what this number is, to see the amount of books all together that I have to read, and to just call myself out in this fashion. Because do I think it's really going to make me be better about not buying books? No. It's just going to be a whole lot of work for a whole lot of calling out and probably anxiety on my end anyway, but hopefully for you guys it will be enjoyable. This is just something that I feel I need to do. I have no idea of the number of unread books I have anymore. I've got the ones out of my room already and they are beside me and I'm already scared. So if you guys like the sound of this video and you like seeing bookish content here on YouTube, then do please feel free to hit that big red subscribe button down below to stay tuned for future content. I upload twice a week on a Wednesday and a Friday, so there is no shortage of bookish content here for you to enjoy. You guys can also feel free to check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Page and Chapter, so you can see what I'm reading and how I'm reviewing it in real time. And I've got a whole autumnal feed going on right now. It's very cozy vibes over there, so if you are interested, do please go and check that out. Because I'm genuinely scared for how long this video is going to be, we're going to keep this short. Let's just jump straight into the books that I have to read. I hope you guys are still with me at the end. I hope you guys enjoy. I will see you on the other side. We're going to start with all of the Clothbound Classics. At last count, I had 74. Now, I have read some of them, so I obviously won't tell you the ones that I've read, because this is an unread TBR, that's the point of this video. But the majority of them have not been read, and this is the Clothbound Classics are the reasons that it's taken me so long to film this video, because getting them all out and putting them all back in again in like the rainbow, like the order that I have deliberately put them in, is just going to be such a ball ache. But let's go through the Clothbound Classics. So in the green square we have Grim Tales for Young and Old. Fairy tales, nice and easily explained. We have The Day of the Triffids by John Wyndham. I've never heard of this book before, so the likelihood of me picking it up is slim. Don't know what it's about. A lot of these Clothbounds I don't know what they are, kind of just have them for the aesthetic, which I know is bad, but sue me. We have Cranford by Elizabeth Gaskell. Again, same, don't know what this one's about. We have The Jungle Books by Rudyard Kipling. I do really want to read this one. It has been on many a TBR, I just have never got round to it, but maybe before my next Disney trip at the end of next year, I will put this on a TBR. We then have Hard Times by Charles Dickens. I have loved all of the Dickens that I have read previously, so I will be getting around to this at some point. We have Persuasion by Jane Austen. This has been on many a TBR as well because I love the colour. We have Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. I will probably get to this one. It is a proper classic. And then we have Naked Lunch by William S. Burroughs. Again, I've never heard of this one before. So that is the green row, which brings us to the grey and black row. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I do know what happens in this one, so I'm kind of hesitating to actually read it because I know everything already. Then we have Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. I honestly didn't know that I owned this book, but Jane Austen has not really been a hit for me in the past, but I will probably still give these a go. I have the books not just purely out of greed. I do want to be a big classics reader, I just sadly am not yet. Metamorphoses by Ovid. I'm probably not going to be reading this one. This is just a let's say that I have it kind of book. It's a book that you own and not a book that you read, in my opinion, because if you've read Metamorphoses by Ovid, then you deserve some kind of medal. Then we have The Picture of Dorian Gray, which I do really, really want to read because I love the gothic genre, and The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells, which I also want to read because I took a module on sci-fi throughout history and literature, and this book was mentioned a lot, but we didn't study it, so I would really like to read that. So I've taken the Ivy down and I have emptied out this middle shelf. I haven't read much of the middle shelf, but In this shelf we have Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift. Again, this has been on a TBR before. I do want to read this one. For obvious reasons, I find the more children's classics to be a lot more accessible and fun to read, so this one I actually do want to read. We have Villette by Charlotte Bronte. Bronte sisters scare me. Emma by Jane Austen. Want to read, have tried to read before, not quite ready to give up on it yet because I do think that I will like it if I can just get past the Austenness of it all. The Odyssey by Homer. I do want to read this, but I've tried in the past and it's like, it's the freaking Odyssey. Like, yeah, I do really want to read this. I just haven't ever gotten around to it, but as an archaeology student I feel like I should. The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. This book is just fucking huge and I am so incredibly daunted by it, and I'm not entirely sure I ever see this one happening. It is one that I have gravitated towards in the past, and I believe it might be on the Rory Gilmore Reading Challenge, which I am doing, kind of. A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. This is the next Dickens book that I would love to read. The Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. I have studied The Merchant's Tale for A-level English, but I wanted to read the rest of them. The reason that I haven't read this particular edition is because this is a translated edition and I would like to read it in the Middle English, so I won't ever be reading this edition, I don't think, because where's the fun in that? We have Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain, Tales from 1001 Nights, Paradise Lost by John Milton, Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy, Far from the Maddening Crowd by Thomas Hardy, Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, and David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. And that wraps up the middle square. This is another daunting shelf in that there's just so many books on it. So we have Vanity Fair by William Makepeace Thackeray. This is just a big book. Don't know what it's about. Love the cover, love the title, just don't know anything about it. Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. Les Mis by Victor Hugo. So in the orange category we have Don Quixote. Don't think I'll ever really read this one. Orlando by Virginia Woolf. Confederacy of Dunces by John Kennedy Toole. That is his name. The Mahabharata. I've butchered that. I am so sorry. I don't actually know what this is, but the book itself really draws the eye on my bookshelves. I love having it. War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins. The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte. Brideshead Revisited by Evelyn Waugh is probably the correct one. And Moby Dick by Herman Melville. This one is definitely on the Rory Gilmore Reading Challenge. That is those three shelves. We only have like one more, and the one more isn't double stacked, so we're nearly there on the classics. The Mayor of Casterbridge by Thomas Hardy. Wild Sargasso Sea by Jean Rhys. Oh, I have two of The Mayor of Casterbridge by Thomas Hardy. How did I miss that I have two? Okay, well, I don't need that one. And Madame Bovary by Gustave Flaubert. Bleak House by Charles Dickens. The Iliad by Homer. And Dante's Inferno. And then the final classic, The Sonnets and a Lover's Complaint by William Shakespeare. This one I really want to read. And so that is all of the classics that I have yet to read. Now it all just becomes a little random. So I have Vengeful by V.E. Schwab, but this will be going on my October TBR. I don't even know where to put these books anymore. I've run out of space. The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune, but again, it's on September's TBR. Twelfth Night by William Shakespeare, the Arden Shakespeare edition, and Antony and Cleopatra by William Shakespeare, the Arden Shakespeare edition. I love Arden Shakespeare editions. Like, I just think they're the best way to consume Shakespeare. The Penguin Book of Myths and Legends of Ancient Egypt by Joyce Tildesley. Haven't got to this one yet. If you saw my most recent book haul, this was in it. A Winter's Promise by Christelle de Boss. I have got to get some series off my TBR so that I can read this one. Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahorin. Same thing, I need to get some series off my TBR so I can start this one because I'm really excited about this one. The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd-Jones. Again, this will be going on my October TBR because it's about bone. The Inverts by Crystal Jeans. This is about a lavender marriage in the 1920s and a mystery also. And then we have The Rose and the Dagger and The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Addy. I've seen this on BookTok. It would be a lie for me to say that the reason I haven't read this series yet is because I don't own the matching covers. Like, that's definitely why I haven't read it, is because I hate both of these covers and they don't match each other. The Hunt for Captain Kidd and How He Changed Piracy Forever. This is a non-fiction about pirates and I'm obsessed with pirates. To Marry and to Meddle by Martha Waters. This is a Regency romance marriage of convenience. My favourite tropes. Under a Dancing Star by Laura Wood. Cozy, contemporary but not contemporary because it's historical romance in 1930s England / 1930s Italy. Laura Wood is just a very cozy author. Babel by R.F. Kuang. I'm very excited about this one. The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. This is like a 7-book series, so this one's going to be on the TBR for a while. King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St. Clair. And XOXO by Axie O. Or Hugs and Kisses by Axie O. I have no idea what the actual title is, but I like XOXO by Axie O better. Then we have Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. It did in fact arrive. Truman Capote's In Cold Blood. Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. 500 Words or Less. Nightlark by Alex Astor. A Brush with Love by Maisie Eddings, which is like a TikTok contemporary romance about dentists. Gideon the Ninth by Tasmin Moya, a book that I am super duper excited to read. And so now I've done all of the classics and I've done all of the books from my bedroom, so now we're kind of just working our way through the shelves. I'm going to have some faith in myself that there's not a lot here. So I have The High Lord by Trudy Canavan, which is the Black Magician Trilogy, book 3. The problem with owning this book is I don't have a Scooby what happens in book 1 or book 2 anymore, so in order to finish the series I would have to reread the series and that's just too much work for me. The Amber Spyglass by Philip Pullman, book 3 in the His Dark Materials series. Take Me Home Tonight by Morgan Matson, which is her most recent release. I'm a big Morgan Matson fan. And then we have book 3 and book 4 of the Dirty Air series by Lauren Asher, which is a Formula 1 romance series. And I'm a big Formula 1 fan. I wanted to do a video on whether this was actually good for a female Formula 1 audience. It's just taking me so long to get to these books that video has completely stalled. I have the Lord of the Rings trilogy by J.R. Tolkien. No, I can't get the Lord of the Rings hype, I'm afraid. And then I also have the Hobbit series and the Game of Thrones series that are like these leather special editions. They kind of look like Bibles. They're in the boxes at the back of the bookshelf, and pulling them out is like they're getting stuck and there's other books in the way, and so I'm just not going to pull those out, but I do have those as well. I have Finale, a Caraval novel. I believe this is the 3rd and final book in the Caraval series. The problem is that I don't have book 2, and I have these like different editions. They don't have the stripy spines, and I cannot find book 2 in these editions anywhere. We have the Scythe series by Neil Schusterman. I have the Fairy Loot special editions. Yeah, they are Fairy Loot. They're like signed special editions. Whew, they're a little bit dusty, but yes, I have these 3 to read as well. And so that is the final lot of books. Like, that is my entire unread TBR that I own. That is not all of the books that I want to read though. I do have other books that are on like wish lists and other TBRs and ebooks and things like that, but that is my entire unread physical TBR. I will put the number on the screen of the actual amount of books this is. My camera battery is dying, so I cannot stand here and count them right now. That's how long it's taken me to film this video. I hope you guys know how much I love you for doing this. So I do hope that you have enjoyed this video and you liked seeing my pain, and you now know how stressful it must be to have this many unread books on your shelves. If you guys did enjoy, then it would really mean a lot if you could hit that thumbs up button, and if you could hit the big red subscribe button down below to stay tuned for future content. I upload twice a week, on a Wednesday and a Friday, so there is no shortage of bookish content here for you to enjoy. I do hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you are also having a fantastic week. You are enjoying everything that you are reading, and there are no reading slumps in your future. And I will see you on Friday for my next video. Bye guys.